and you gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends, which includes, but is not limited to, somebody that is never a 3-to-1 dog. What is poppin', Brian Lamata? How you feeling, baby?
I'm chilling. I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm chilling. You know,
ready,
day in the life.
ready to get into this Coke Zero Oreo flavor.
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero.
I saw, I don't know who sent it. It had to be Guapo because it was Sasha Grey.
Yeah, that would be me.
Who she's eating the dogs and the cats per usual. I saw her do a review and they actually have the Coke Zero flavored Oreos as well.
No, I don't think they were Coke Zero. I think it was just Coke. They were just Coke flavored Oreos.
Wow.
No, there's a big difference. We will try Coke Zero here. We won't try Coke.
This is what I was trying to say.
Is there a big difference?
Yeah, one has sugar, one doesn't.
That's what I thought it was.
But it's the cookie. Like the cookie's always going to have sugar.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Anyway.
What if they use... So...
Can we get stevia flavored
I'll give you
Oreo?
3-to-1 that they don't put sugar in it.
So the zero
Is
sugar...
that 25 cents on the dollar?
So the zero sugar...
my money?
The zero sugar is like the zero brand is like what the artificial like flavoring is, or artificial sweetener.
It's just different than Diet Coke, I think.
Because there's like, you see zero bunch of stuff, right? Like there's zero Gatorade, there's zero...
Yeah. Oh, no, but that's... Each brand is just doing that for marketing purposes. It's just to promote zero sugar.
Zero sugar, zero fat,
yeah,
zero
I thought maybe
calories.
zero was like an actual brand.
No,
You see it everywhere.
Not brand, but like
It's just
label that the
marketing.
FDA would use. I don't
No,
think.
like an actual like brand of sweetener.
Oh no.
No, even like
There's-
what's one call it uses it like stevia.
I just
they
assumed
call
that
their
anytime you
sweetness
saw zero something, it was the same sweetener.
No, this
in it.
sweetener is aspartame and I guess sucralose.
And how's that different from Diet Coke?
I would assume it uses. I'm assuming here. I don't know, but I would assume that it uses one of the other artificial sweeteners.
Yeah.
Whether it's what's the other one that's pretty
Fructose?
common? No. Not
Aspartame is the only one. that comes
aspartame
in-
and then the other one.
Yeah.
The one that your grandma takes. Equals.
Equal.
Whatever the fuck that is.
That's not aspartame.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who gives a shit? Let's rip into these.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Are we
Pop 'em
gonna
open,
try them
boys.
right now?
Yeah.
All right.
The difference between Coke Zero and Diet Coke is the type of sweetener.
That's
Diet
what it
Coke is aspartame. Coke Zero is sweetened with a combination of aspartame and acesulfame potassium.
Okay, so they both have aspartame in them, but this has some extra stuff in it.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm scared.
Don't be scared. I'm pretty excited.
I'm gonna do
It
a
smells
sniff
like
test.
Coke. It just smells like
I'm
Coke.
gonna do a sniff
course
test
it does.
first, so we're gonna see what we like here.
It smells exactly like Coke.
I'm sure it still tastes like
It
Coke.
does not smell exactly like Coke. It has a dark.
It smells like
chocolatey
chemicals.
flavor.
No, it smells like.
It has a chocolate tint to it.
I don't like
Wow.
it.
I
You
do
tried
not
it? You don't
smell-
like it?
Wow. If Landon doesn't like it,
I'm not gonna try it.
Shit, fuck
if
that.
Landon doesn't like it, there's a high
here we go.
probability
I would
Here we
not
go.
drink.
spit
I would
this
not
out.
drink this again.
If Landon
Wait,
doesn't
let's-
like it, it is disgusting.
We need that camera on each person when they try it.
I will
So-
not drink
okay,
it
here it's
again.
on me, so I'm gonna try it. We'll get my reaction here. It tastes like an Oreo.
It smells like gas.
I mean, it tastes like
smells
Coke. It's like if you dropped an Oreo into a Diet Coke.
Why would you
That's
do
what it
that?
tastes like.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
I gotta try this now.
Oh, that is fucking foul.
I don't like that.
It does not taste like an Oreo.
Yes,
yeah,
it definitely
you know
does.
what, guys? I think that
That is not foul.
That is
It's not, I don't think it's foul either.
I don't think it's
I would
disgusting
probably,
at all.
I don't drink soda, so like I would like never drink this like on its own.
Yeah, this wouldn't be
but
like my go-to.
This isn't
Okay.
like
I'm glad
this
I
isn't
get to
like
be
the
the
worst thing.
tiebreaker here.
It tastes like Coke with a hint of Oreo.
No.
Let's
flavor
find
to it.
out.
It doesn't taste
Let's
like
find
either.
out. I'm the tiebreaker. I'll tell you.
Ew.
I don't think it's awful at all.
Yes, thank you.
That shit is
so ridiculous.
Disgusting.
That's so
It's
ridiculous.
fucking disgusting.
That's like Coke chocolate milk.
No, there's no chocolate flavor. It's like
Hey, Conrad, can I have yours?
it's like if you imagine the worst root beer that you've ever had in your entire
Conrad's
life
leaving.
when it was flat mixed with piss.
It's not flat at all.
That's what that tastes
piss.
like.
Conrad left the podcast forever.
I don't blame him. I need to clean my mouth. That was absolutely.
I bet if it
horrific.
was a blind taste test, you wouldn't think that much different between that and like regular Coke Zero.
I also think Coke Zero probably tastes like shit, but this tastes especially
You've never
like
tried
shit.
Coke Zero? I guess what
I
would
don't
you?
know. It's been a
Yeah,
long
probably
fucking
not,
time
yeah.
if I ever have. I don't even know if they had it out the last time I
These
drank
things
Coke.
do not go together.
It was disgusting. Absolutely.
Nah,
I'd rather eat the dogs than the cats.
Yeah, nah, that ass. We go to straight to Ohio. Dogs
Take-
and cats.
take
we don't
me to
want none of
Ohio.
That shit.
Take
That was
Take me to jail.
Honestly, that was
Skibbity,
disgusting.
Ohio.
Take me to jail.
Toilet
I don't
Riz.
even want that on my desk.
Oh.
Wow.
You guys actually thought that was palatable?
I think it's
thought it
fine.
was fine. I don't think it's good. But I don't think it tastes like piss.
Like I don't.
Nah, it tastes like.
Okay, now everyone has to
I wouldn't
taste
choose
piss.
to drink this because I just don't drink this kind of beverage. But like,
Bring in Nick
I don't think
Howard
it's
for
like
the piss taste.
I'm not
I'd
gonna,
rather-
I'm
I'd
not
rather
gonna
eat dog
spit it
food.
out onto the floor like Conrad.
I wish
Nah,
I
that
had.
shit was disgusting.
I wish I had. I made the mistake of gulping it.
My stomach's starting to hurt.
That was a big error. That was
You're-
fucking foul.
He was bro gulped.
That was atrocious.
That was
You don't get any Oreo flavor at all.
Guapo, did you
No,
make a second link?
I made a link.
Yes, you did.
Oh, we got 2 links out there.
Well, we have the one I made a while ago that I linked it to, and then we have Guapo's with no title and 109 people that I was not paying attention to. I'm like, why is the chat so dead? Where is the chat?
Yeah, well, we over here.
They're with
Alright.
the Coke Zero enjoyers.
Okay.
I'll tell
Alright.
you one thing. Nobody enjoys that. That was one of the most disgusting things I've ever
it's
tasted in
fine.
my
You
life.
guys are insane.
It is just not something that I would actively try to drink.
Very
like this,
overreactionary.
This Ghost,
Is that a word?
orange
Oh,
cream.
Yeah, here we go.
This is it. You okay? This is a banger.
Let me
and I
try
know
that.
banger.
Can I try that?
Yeah, ready?
Nah, it's popping. That shit is good right there. It tastes like an orange popsicle.
He would never.
That's
That's
good.
delicious.
That's
That-
right.
That tastes much better than that.
That's what
I can get on board with that. Tastes much better than that. But you know,
If you were to
I'm
rate
not
the
gonna
Coke
spit it
Zero,
out onto the floor.
if you were to rate Coke Zero out of 10, Coke Zero, what is that to you?
0.
like out of all sodas or out of all drinks in general.
Out of all drinks in general that you've had in your
Zero
life,
is like drinking acid.
out of all
Like, what
drinks
are we
I've ever
talking-
had in my life, it's probably like a 3.
I would
That's
give it.
acceptable.
I would give it a solid 4.
That is the absolute worst drink I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that's not like
That is a
like
absolute
drinking
zero.
sour milk or something like that.
I would rather drink sour milk.
All right, I'm not gonna
I
sign
would
up for
rather drink sour
anything
milk
that's
for
gonna
sure.
fuck up my stomach. So the sour milk and
I
this
eat
goes on the
cottage
same
cheese all the
thing.
time. Like, it can't be that much worse to drink
Oh
a
my
little
god,
bit of
that's
sour
so
milk.
gross.
As long as
We just found out his fantasy fucking
What-
football punishment.
what would be worse? What would be worse, drinking sour milk knowing that it's sour milk, or drinking sour milk on accident?
Drinking sour milk
knowing.
on accident.
No,
What
knowing.
about-
No,
I think it
accident.
has to be.
Are you a
accident.
fan of pickles? Probably not. Would you drink pickle juice? What do you think?
I would drink pickle juice.
Pickle juice
Over
is
that?
I
great.
used to drink pickle juice when I was a
We
kid all
love
the time.
pickle juice around here.
Yeah.
I would
We love
voluntarily
pickle juice.
You ever
drink
do a pickleback?
juice.
I know you haven't. Have you ever done a pickleback?
I just drink the. Me and Landon will sit there and drink the fucking pickle juice out of
so
the
you-
jar.
Yeah, pickle
You
juice
do
is
too.
good.
Yeah, but after when the pickles are gone, you fucking savage. This guy, there's like 40 pickles in there. There's no juice. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, this has to be Landon.
It's
He's
good,
like,
salty,
I drank
you know?
the juice.
No, but like I didn't know that it needs to stay in it. I just thought
No,
like,
they
the juice
just
was
they-
extra.
Here's extra juice.
The
for you.
reason I'm asking is
today,
because
like-
well, you
Why
asked me
not?
like to rate this from scale from 1 to 10. And I gave it a 3. I'm just trying to think what
I think
what a 1
Pickle
would
juice
be.
would be a 6.
Pickle.
Piss,
pickle
piss
juice
would
is
be a
good.
1.
Okay, there you go.
Piss would be a 1.
Piss would probably
it's
be a
palatable,
1.
but barely.
And sour milk
It's
would be like
palatable?
All
a 2.
right. I
Piss
wanna
is
Actually,
know
maybe
how-
sour milk would be a 1.
How do you guys know piss is palatable?
We have. I
don't know.
already said it. Nick Howard needs to come in and
You guys-
certify that we've all drank piss.
They're eating the dog food.
You guys don't even know what Bud Light tastes like. Which
They're
is,
eating the cats.
Hey.
Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
This is a banger.
Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the
Cat
dogs.
jam is in there.
Eat the cat. Eat the cat. eating
Don't
the dogs.
ever-
They're eating
don't
the
ever
cats.
delete that
Eat the
asset.
cat.
Yeah, that has to stay
Don't
there
ever
forever.
delete that. Keep
Right.
that on a hot button.
Yeah.
We need that ready to fucking be
At all
queued
times.
at all times.
Do we have a soundboard?
We're
We
about to
do
get
now.
one.
We do now, and that is absolutely at the top. That is a fucking certified banger.
It would be
it
fun
is
if
pretty
we
good.
all had a soundboard in front of us where we could just hit the
Oh
button
my
at
god,
any
that would be a
time.
mess.
Yeah,
that would be a fucking
Talk about
mess.
a cacophony. That
Just
would
give me
be
my soundboard. Come
an
on.
absolute
Come
disaster.
on, give me my soundboard.
Man, what a fucking banger. The
Wow.
lesbian anthem of the year.
Yeah.
Eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
I can't believe people actually like some people enjoyed this.
No,
We can't
they
bring
lie.
it back to Coke. We're over it. We
Yeah,
cannot talk Coke Zero. Listen, bring back the pumpkin spice Oreos.
Yeah.
Dude.
I can attest. What were they? They were apple cider pumpkin spice Oreos.
Bro.
And I don't like any of those things at all individually,
You
except
don't
for
like
Oreos.
apple cider?
Dude, the
No.
pumpkin spice.
I don't like
Really?
apple cider. I don't like pumpkin spice. I don't like pumpkin pie.
spice. I don't like any
I don't like
pumpkin.
any of that shit. But I like cinnamon and I like Oreos. And I have to tell you, those were fucking bangers.
You ate the whole thing
I
in a
ate
day.
the whole fucking thing.
Cinnamon Oreos?
I can't believe you
There
don't
were
like
pumpkin spice apple cider Oreos.
apple
I mean, like
cider's
pumpkin
usually
spice latte
cinnamon.
is good.
But
It's
effectively,
gross.
yes, Guapo. They were just vanilla cinnamon Oreos. And they were like a cinnamon roll. I mean, just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you pump anything with enough sugar, it's gonna taste good.
Well, this had zero
Except the
sugar.
cats.
Except the cat. Actually, maybe if you.
Maybe the cats.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the cats.
Cat
They're
pie.
eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Hey.
Eat the cat. Eat
What?
the cat. They're
Let's not
eating
keep
the
it
dogs.
tight,
They're
bro.
eating
Let's
the
not
cats.
keep it
Hey,
tight. Yeah, you gotta keep it like that. You gotta keep it-
They're
hey.
eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
It is a banger.
What a banger, man. God, I might vote for him now. I was on the fucking fence. I was dead down the middle. That might sway me right
Imagine-
now.
You're a single issue voter, a single song voter.
Right, exactly. If he fucking came out to that as his victory song, you're goddamn right. I'd put him in
God.
office.
Jesus Christ.
Don't give him any ideas, man.
Eat the cat. Oh man, he's got to be fucking loving it.
He has to come out to like the next rally or whatever he does into that, right?
Yes, that I want him to come out to that and then like leave with like Scott Staff playing him off. You know, just Creed. Can we get higher?
I mean, he reposted a. I don't. We don't have it. I should have. It was like he reposted on True Social. It was like him like with a cat running, holding the cat with like literally black people behind him chasing him down.
Bro.
Like
They were
what?
literally
This guy's
black?
unhinged.
They're Haitian. Okay.
They were Haitian and also black.
All right, let's not fucking start. Okay.
No, he also said yesterday he's doubling down on this, and he goes, I mean, there's just so many Haitian migrants coming into Ohio. Nobody knows where they came from. Everyone's just like, probably Haiti. He's unreal.
Wow.
All right. We have a spicy show today.
Banger.
Pumpkin
It's a
spicy
banger.
show.
It's going to be real light in the beginning and a little bit more serious at the end. Want to remind you guys that after this, we're headed straight to the Venetian. 1 p.m. We're going to have a meetup game. A lot of giveaways. There is a oh, wow. Incredible. I get the fucking no profile pic.
Not available. That's amazing.
What a great.
It's kind of fucked up though if you think about it. Like you would think Above the Felt would understand that the biggest draw is going to be Berkey, and they can't even find a picture of him. So
Yeah,
It's
I know.
fucking brutal, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. Farrah's going.
I can't believe you left Nikki off with her. What the fuck did her shirt say? Something about dicks?
She was like picking her nose or something.
I don't remember.
Ask me about my butthole.
Yeah, I think it was ask me about my butthole. Ask me about my wiener. You guys probably don't remember that movie. So yeah, we have the Venetian meetup game, 1 p.m. There's going to be some giveaways. I think it's going to be a 2-night stay. Is going to be one of the giveaways. I believe there are 1 or 2 50-minute massages at Canyon Ranch Spa.
Yeah, I want the spa.
It's going to be given away.
Certificate.
He wants the spa.
Yeah, he wants the spa. So prior to getting into the Weekend Warrior, which is coming up next, I want to tell this little tale. I finally booked my flight this morning.
Okay.
Now, as a
Business
chronic procrastinator, I'm 36 hours out. Okay, I'm flying halfway across the world.
Okay.
By the way, huge shout out to Alex Keating, his Fly Flat company. If you guys haven't used them for international flights or anything where you need a little more comfort, please do. He managed.
What is
He
the name of
managed
this?
2 things.
What's it called?
Fly flat.
Fly flat.
He managed 2 things here. Now, I reached out and I said, hey, I got this long trip ahead. I can't do economy, man. Like, cannot fly 16 hours in econ. And I'm not being bougie. I just mean, like, I'll get claustrophobic. I just won't want to be on the plane anymore. Like, you'll see me fucking wrenching open an emergency exit to just jump. And if that's how it ends, that's how it ends. But, like, I don't want to take everybody with me, you know? So I need to get a lie flat. Like, I need to at least get into business. But this trip seems to be a little bit pricey. You know, it's like $10K round trip. He goes, all right. Well, first of all, let's book one way because I can get better deals within a 14-day window. I'm like, oh, that's great because I don't do anything outside of 4 days.
Yeah.
So if you thought I was leaving
a day and a half, really.
If you thought I was leaving past the week, you're out of your mind.
He goes,
at
how
this
committed
point.
to you are you on the return date? And I go, not at all. I arbitrarily picked it because I thought it would save me a few bucks. He goes, no, let's just fly one way. I go, okay, great. I go, what can you do for me? He goes, let me see. I can crunch some numbers. You know, maybe I can work this, that, or the other. And he comes back and he goes, I have a first class seat for you. Heavily discounted on the exact day that you're leaving. And I was like, yeah, but, you know, I was already saying business was a little pricey. Like, what are we doing here? He goes, same price as the current business.
Okay.
Just a little bit more. And I
Just
go,
a little more what?
just a little bit more. It was like an extra 1,100 or something like that. And I'm like, okay, but like, you know, how about that business discount? It's like I was trying to not pay $10K to fly round trip.
Right.
And he's like, right, but like here's a picture of what the first class looks like.
Did you not send this to me?
I may not have, but I'll send it.
I'd
now.
like to have seen this.
It's crazy because I saw something the other day.
He gets his own
on
room, basically.
it was a I forget which airline it was. I think it was an Asian airline of some sort. But like they showed the first class, like the guy showed a little tour, and it looked like a hotel room.
Yeah.
This plane has a lounge on it, like a bar.
Yeah.
They
sit down and just like hang
advertise
out.
it like it's a great place to mingle and meet people.
Right.
It's a first class bar. I'm like,
it's like you're on a cruise, but in the air.
class, what the fuck is the matter with
Air
you people?
cruise.
So he sends me the room, and I go, okay, well, I'm obviously
Taking that.
You know, what about the return flight? He goes, we'll worry about that when it's time to leave. And I go, you know what? I like the way you do business. This is precisely
I like you.
the way that I work. However, I was telling Landon, like, I probably could have done this entire trip for like $5K. Like, it's 3 weeks. You get to shower, by the way, for I think it's every 6 hours in the air, you can take a 10-minute shower.
Wow.
Like, who showers?
Right. I'm gonna take a shower.
What are we doing here?
Who showers on the floor?
So,
God, I'm sure
So I
you'd
think I
wish
could-
a lot of people would.
yeah, that's true. I think I
should
could have
shower.
done the whole flight. Like, if I had flown econ and I'd stayed at a very nice hotel, I think I could have done the whole trip for like 4,500, 5K.
But you a bougie ass nigga.
And then, and then on the high end, I think I could have stayed at like a 5-star resort, all inclusive, and flown first class both ways, and it would have cost like 25K, which couldn't do that.
You went somewhere in the middle.
I went somewhere in the middle, but like way higher than I had anticipated.
Yeah.
I had planned on spending like 8,000 because I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a lie flat. Like I have to.
Yeah. You gotta be able to sleep.
Like I've flown to Australia once, and I would have regretted doing it in economy.
Right.
I was lucky enough to get a lie flat both ways, and it was just like the most amazing thing on the planet. Didn't feel like 14 hours. Slept most of it. Just incredible. Like having a bed is just next level.
Just one sleepy
Can't
guy.
wait to pay $10,000 for a bed for 16 hours.
Insane. Well, hey, 32 hours.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
It's round trip.
Yeah.
You know.
It does sound ridiculous when you
When
frame it
think
that way.
like that,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
like, wait, I'm doing this for a bed.
I mean,
You can have this chair for $1,000, and you can have this bed.
if you
for 10.
You could be
if you had
absolutely
to be
miserable.
in a tin can for 32 hours, would you pay $300 an hour to sleep?
If I had, wait, hold on. Am I going anywhere in this tin can?
$300
Yeah, of
an hour
course.
is a
Oh,
lot.
okay, sure.
You're going to Lithuania.
How many people here have actually sat in a plane for 16 hours just completely just like this for 16 hours?
It's a great question.
Because
haven't.
I've done it and it fucking sucks.
Right, it has to be the worst thing on
It
earth,
is
right?
absolutely. That's why I will only travel business class.
My max
if I'm
has
going
been
that far.
7, but
I'm with you. I'm with Guapo.
I don't.
What's the
think-
difference? So like what is the difference between economy, business class, and first
Economy
class?
is literally Southwest.
Shoulder
So
to
it's
shoulder.
literally like
3 seats.
you're
Yeah,
like just
you're
like
shoulder
you'd
to
be flying
shoulder with
across the
someone.
country on
for
a normal flight.
16 hours.
That would suck. Okay, so then you go to business class, and what's that get you?
A
Just-
lie flat.
Yeah.
Oh, you
so
have-
in other words, your chair, it's like think of a
It
lazy
goes all
boy
the
that
way
goes
flat?
completely
It's
flat.
total bed. Have you ever? You probably never flown JetBlue Mint.
No, but I've seen them.
Okay, it's
Right.
that.
Okay.
There's 2 side by side,
Right.
full lie flat. There's like a bit of a divide between
Yeah.
the two. Very, very comfortable.
And then
I doubt it's worth upgrading to first class.
I was gonna say
but
then first class gets you what?
a room,
Like and basically
an entire room.
Entire room. to
You have a
yourself.
suite.
Yeah.
And you get the first class lounge at the airports, I guess, which is like whatever.
Like
All right, so
like this thing I saw, this first class. Well, I forget, like I said, I forget which airline it was, but it was literally looked like a hotel room. There was a flat screen on the TV,
Yeah.
or on the wall.
Yeah.
Like you literally like with a bed and like
Probably
your
get,
own
like,
private bathroom.
300 square feet of
Yeah.
it's insane.
it's
Yeah.
so wild because if you really think about it, you're really just purchasing a bed for 16 hours, which is equivalent to half a year's of rent for some people.
No, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
I've talked to a bunch of my friends about this. Like,
It's
I'm not a
absurd.
big traveler. I did not grow up with the ability to travel. I didn't take my first flight till I was 23.
Really?
I think
Probably
yeah.
to Vegas.
It was
Get
to
outta
Vegas.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First flight at 23.
Wow.
I had only left the state at that point maybe a dozen times, and they were all for baseball, and they were all driving distance. Like, I'd been to Florida a few times.
Nigga, that ain't driving distance.
We took a bus from Erie, PA. We took a fucking bus.
A lot of
buddy.
people drive from Pittsburgh to Florida.
26
that
hours.
doesn't mean it's driving
A
distance.
lot of people.
I'm with Conrad, actually.
You mean a lot of people?
That's like
is wrong with
the
you
people
people?
are like, yeah, I'm driving to Vegas from Pittsburgh. It's like, motherfucker, that ain't driving distance. That's 3.5 days
Yeah.
distance.
I'm taking a trip across the country.
You're taking an Oregon Trail with a fucking. You got your little
Yeah.
cocked wagon so you can ford the river. Like,
You can drive from Pittsburgh to Florida in one day.
yeah, but like by bus, it's like 28 hours.
Right.
But
a lot of people like the snowbirds, if you will, drive there because they
and then
wanna
they
have
never
their
leave.
car.
Yeah.
No, they leave.
Yeah, 6 months later.
Yeah, right. Once it gets warm back north, they fly north, just like the birds do.
Yeah. So
The birds.
So yeah, like I definitely did not.
birds.
I did not.
Eat the birds. Eat the birds.
Oh man. So I definitely did not grow up with the luxury of traveling, and I never in my life, like, people who fly private, it looks amazing, but I've just
Right.
never been able to wrap my head around
The entire
it.
plane is first class.
Right, but like if you want to fly private Vegas to LA, it's like 15 to 20K
That's so dumb.
for a 90-minute.
That's what I mean. That's so dumb.
Maybe
Right.
less.
Right.
It's just a flex. It's just I have
Yeah.
so much goddamn money.
I don't know what to do with it.
I don't know what to
Is
do.
this
can
a
hop
promo
right
for
on-
JSX?
You can hop right on JSX for
JSX
$325.
Right. JSX is not private.
I know.
Nothing about it is private.
It's
across
quick.
the country private would be nice though. Is
So I
5
flew-
hours or whatever?
We
it is.
chartered a plane. When I say we, I mean Rob Young chartered a plane and allowed us to join from Vegas to the Bahamas back in, I think, 2016 or 2017
Yeah,
when
see, that
Party
would be
Poker
nice.
ran the Party Poker Millions.
Yeah.
But this was like I think there was like 45 people on this flight.
Okay.
So it's like it's not a private jet in the way
Where,
that you're.
where there's like 10 people max.
Correct. Yeah.
You're
It's not like
drinking
spread out and there's a
champagne
card table and
Right.
like no.
Yeah.
It's like it looks like a bus.
Right.
It's comfortable. It was way better than flying fucking Southwest to
could
Miami
it
or
not?
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is very different. So like spending $10,000 round trip on flight alone, I'm like texting friends like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
And it's just like, how am I justifying this? This is fucking insane. And then on top of it, I'm looking at hotels and
You're gonna need that Trump tax cut to pay for this thing.
so I'm looking to book hotels for like 3 weeks, right? And there are amazing options that are maybe like just a little bit inconvenient when it comes to location at like $125 a night. I mean, incredible options like 24/7 gym, 24/7 dining, great on-site restaurants, just everything you could ever want. Like the equivalent of staying at like the Aria.
Yeah.
Basically for $125, $140 a night, whatever. And then I find a wellness retreat. And the whole fucking hotel is literally set up for like fitness and spa. So like in your room, you have training equipment.
Oh man.
And like the gym is just like state of the art. It's the best you've ever seen.
See, this
you
is the
get
thing.
like spa treatment thrown in. There's a cold plunge, a sauna, just everything you could ever
And how
ask
much
for.
is this going to cost a night?
So it's like just shy of 300. It's like 280, 290 a night.
Okay, so like
So it's the difference
Twice.
between me spending like 2,500 on a hotel versus me spending like $5K or
Right.
5,500 on a hotel. So obviously I got that one.
of course. Well, there's always something better. Like there's always
there were other ones that were like
that's what I'm saying.
$1,000 a
right,
night.
right. It's like you got to cut it off at some point.
Yeah, this
Like
was.
you're not going to live in a cardboard box, but you're also not.
I looked at like the $1,000 a night hotels, and I looked at like the $200 or the $100 a night hotels. To me personally, like for the things that I want, no difference. Like zero difference. A little more space in your room, like whatever. But convenience wise, absolutely no difference. But the difference between the $100 a night hotel and the $300 a night hotel that is dedicated to like fitness, I was like, I have to stay here. I might move in. I may never leave.
I think you made a good investment.
I made a good investment. Now I'm $16K out of the fucking hole.
I
I didn't even pay for food yet.
I have a similar question that's sort of adjacent.
Yeah.
What would be considered an unreasonable or an unreasonable amount to pay for tickets to an event?
Oh, you're talking UFC.
Based on your net worth.
You're talking UFC. Well, I have to tell you that depending on how this trip goes in the game that I'm playing, I could have spent somewhere from 0.25% of my net worth all the way up to like 1.5% of my net worth. So
which seems
we're
like
gambling.
a ridiculous amount.
Well, we're gambling a lot here,
So I
Guapo.
think-
You know, it's like
I
I
think
might
this-
lose 7 figures on this trip.
Yeah, I think it's a big difference when you're talking about this. When you talk about going to UFC, because I think it's it's never going to happen again.
That's what I keep telling myself, but I'm also trying to justify spending.
It's like
No,
X
I
amount
heard,
of
I heard
money.
the
It
tickets have
dropped.
bombed. They're like $700 now.
The cheapest ones are $8 something,
Yeah,
but then they
like-
also have their fees, so you're looking at spending like $2,300.
Whoa.
What the fuck did you
fees are
say?
2.5x?
The Ticketmaster fees? Are you kidding me? If the ticket is $8 something, you're gonna end up paying like $1,000 for your ticket.
You said 22.
Whoa.
If I buy 2 tickets.
Oh, what's her name?
Jesus Christ, Brittany.
He said Brittany.
Leave Brittany
You're
alone.
supposed to say Michelle.
I did miss that one. Sorry.
You might have got beat up.
That's right.
baby.
You might have got beat up.
That's
Ryan
my-
might have
that's
just
my
fucking
Michelle.
laughed.
Yeah,
He might have
exactly.
just pulled the
Yeah,
wolf
Which
what's
shit.
seems
Michelle?
like a large amount of
I
money to
would
spend
say
on a
I
ticket.
would here would be my recommendation, Guapo. You
It's never
100%
gonna happen again.
You
know?
100% should go,
I agree.
and you should spend the $8,000 to $1,000. You should not take Brittany. No offense to Brittany.
Just leave her home.
No offense to Brittany. She's not going to enjoy the event as much as you are.
She might actually enjoy it more than me.
Okay,
Yeah.
again-
she's a diehard.
Yeah. Okay. I
Then
mean,
you stay home and she
look,
goes.
Look, yeah. Yeah. If you're super dedicated to her or whatever, but my point being is that you definitely have a friend somewhere, Andre, someone who will spend $1,000, not be broken up over it, go and have a great time with you, and now it only costs you a reasonable amount of money that you can justify because you're betting more than that on the match anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
At a bad line, nonetheless.
just hope you win.
At minus 110.
Oh,
yeah.
what I would say,
Ooh.
Guapo, is one of two things should happen. Either you should go, or you should take the $1,000 that you were going to spend on the tickets
Oh,
and
that's
fire
actually-
it
yeah.
at the plus 125 that it's
Yeah,
risen
that's
to.
actually,
Or
I
you
didn't think of it
just-
that way.
Or do
triple
both.
down.
Leave Brittany's ass at home.
Absolutely triple
Sorry,
down.
Brittany. Leave Brittany's ass at home. Put the $1,000 on plus 125 and take your happy ass to the Sphere.
I have a question. Is
Now
this-
I think we're there.
Hey, hold on. This isn't the main, right?
Yeah. That's at 6 p.m.
No. Shevchenko isn't.
It's the co-main.
You're gonna be sick sitting through O'Malley and fucking Marab if she gets knocked out.
That's true. Yeah.
You would be
No, he'll be in the
sick.
Sphere, bro.
There's always Marab.
He'll
What?
be in the Sphere.
I'm fucking tripling down on Marab, praying
That's
to
fine. He can
praying
get
to
some-
the hell.
You can
It
get
just
some
looks
last
so
minute.
amazing, man. The amount of money they put into this thing.
You should really go.
No, honestly, I think you should go.
When is it? Saturday?
It's tomorrow. Starts at 6 p.m.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
I know you don't drink a lot, but you should have a few beers while you're there just to calm the nerves.
No, you should
Can't
drink it
afford it.
before. That shit is way too much in there.
Can't afford it. I don't have any money.
Honestly, you should really go. Like 100%. You'll never get this experience again.
Yeah, they're
And
never going to do it again.
You'll never get a chance. And like I've been to a lot of UFC fights over here at the Apex. I've been to ones at T-Mobile, and I think this is going to be like 100x better than all of it. I've been to things at the Sphere.
You're the best.
And,
Spear. Don't ever change.
and it's just like, you just got to go. Just spend the fucking money.
I have to say-
How about this? Don't eat Korean barbecue for the next fucking week. You'll be all right, all right?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
You'll save money and
I'll
you'll win
save
the
money.
bets. Brian and I had the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl when it was in Detroit, and
So
the Steelers
dumb.
made it.
Didn't go.
Bettis' last game, his homecoming. They're playing Seattle Seahawks. Steelers are a favorite. Tickets at that point, so Super Bowl tickets now, I think, start at like 8 to 10K.
Yeah.
They're ridiculous.
We were able to, I believe, like for the bad seats, they were like somewhere between $1,800 and $2,500.
Yeah, something like that. 2K.
And at the time we were playing poker, it was 2006. I was doing well at that point. We probably had like 40 or 50K each at that point, maybe a little bit less, 30K minimum.
Yeah.
So like we were talking
It's like
about
one bad night of poker, like really.
Yeah. But it was really hard at that age to justify firing like 5 to 10% of your bankroll on an event that you assume sometime in your adulthood you'll get to relive.
Right.
But I don't want to relive it. Like when the Steelers went to the Super Bowl versus the Packers in 2010 or 11, at that point, like I didn't want to spend $8,000 to go to, it might have been New Orleans at that point or wherever. It was like, I don't care. I mean, I care. I want, but like, I don't want to spend what would be less of my net worth now, but 5x what I would have spent in 06 to go see this game. Especially because like in 06, I was 25. It was just like it's inconceivable I'm flying first class around the world. It was inconceivable to go to the fucking Super Bowl at 25 years old. And we could have fucking done it.
How much would you
driving distance?
How much would you pay for Game 7 World Series with the Pirates in it?
A lot.
Yeah.
Way more. I just enjoy baseball live so much more.
Would you take one of your best friends with you?
Depends if you're getting 3 to 1 or not.
Only for 75 cents on the dollar. Okay, like,
Make it happen.
You guys will never get this reference because we're never going to speak of it again. But
Well, we're going to use the
what an
reference a lot.
just inside baseball or inside joke here.
Just know that you'll never get it.
That's right. Just embrace it. All right, let's get to our weekend warrior picks.
The picks are in. The picks are in. The picks are in.
The picks are in. The picks are in.
The fuck you doing over there, Guapo?
When does it become?
Let's go! It's time. And we're going to start it off with our boy Landy. You want to know why? Because his pick already went. Pick. Landy, how'd you feel yesterday?
Prayers up for Tua, bro.
Oh, Landy had
T's and P's.
Tyreek Hill. He put 100 on it at, what was it? Minus?
He was a favorite.
I was a favorite.
Yeah, he was a favorite. It looks like minus 104, 105 or something
Anytime
like that.
TD.
And he could not get a TD. He couldn't even get 40 yards.
Landon feels like that can of Coke Zero Oreo.
Down bad, crying at the gym.
Down real bad.
Down real bad.
Down real bad.
Deflated.
So you're even on the year now? No, you're 0-2.
I have
You're
$800 left.
Oh, the milk mile is looking
not looking
really.
good, cuz.
Are we doing milk miles?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wait,
We'll
what is that?
decide.
Oh, where you have to run a mile and drink milk. Wait, what?
So you go around a track, and then every time you go around 250 meters, you have to drink milk, and it is pain.
Yeah.
Every 250 meters.
Like every lap around the track, you drink
every
milk.
quarter mile.
You have to drink a gallon
4
of
laps.
milk.
It's
4 laps?
400 meters is a lap. That's why I was confused.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How much milk?
4
A
laps.
gallon.
Each
A
lap.
gallon?
Each lap is a quart.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
Yes,
here.
I don't even drink
Not
milk. That sounds disgusting.
I would be
You can
throwing
handle
up
a
after
quart.
the first quart.
You can handle a quart. It's 32 ounces.
That's the point. It's
Of
not
milk?
It's not supposed to be fun. What do we not get about punishments?
I didn't
Punishments
think
aren't
they were
fun.
physical punishments.
Maybe a gallon's a lot. I feel like it should be the milk 2 mile if we're going to
Yeah.
drink a gallon.
I don't give a shit.
I don't
Milk
think
2 miles sounds bad. All right, anyway, you're 0-2, but the good news is that Conrad might be broke after this week.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll talk about that in a minute. We got LaManna up next. He's going with the Monday night special.
I gotta
again.
give you guys the Monday night sweat. You know, it's just like we get it here. Like we don't want it to be all over Monday morning. We want a sweat.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about this.
Plus,
on
I think
Monday.
this is the best one of the week.
I love that you didn't even crop out your fucking battery. Go put it on a goddamn charger.
What do you mean? That's 75 cents on the dollar right there.
75 cents on the dollar. Right.
So,
Exactly.
What
Brian is
price
betting-
are we getting here?
Brian is betting the Eagles minus 6.5, 160 to win 150.
How many units are we firing on this one? Oh, just 2?
Basically
160.
three.
So.
Oh, 3.
I don't know, what's a
you
unit?
up your, I think of it as 50.
50, so 3.
That was the minimum bet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
the minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
I upped it a little bit this time because, you know, I was like,
Well, you
really
won-
getting
you
out
won
there.
last week,
I
you know.
won last week. I got a little house money to play with.
Taking another
We got-
big favorite.
We got, minus 6.5. I like the 6.5, right? Obviously, that's a great number. Great line.
We're
So-
behind you in the Survivor. We'll have some Eagles exposure for
Go
sure.
Birds.
This is completely based on what the Steelers did last week.
Mm-hmm.
Since they beat the Falcons by 8 on the road, I think the Eagles can beat them by 7 at home.
I think that's a very logical way of looking at it.
Unfortunately, we
Go
don't have
Birds.
our
Go Birds.
my sidekick over here isn't very logical. You know, he thinks the Steelers are going undefeated this year. He thinks that they're actually going to put up more than
I
19
don't.
points at
No,
some
I think
point.
they're going to go 9-8.
But you think they're going to put up more than 19 points at some point this year, which
Yeah,
is
this week.
absolutely absurd. He is going with the Steelers minus 3 and over 19.5 points for
Higher.
a parlay. Higher.
How much is he wagering?
No,
higher.
I need to explain this a little bit.
I believe you're wagering 242.
242 to win. It's basically
759.
I'm getting like 3 to 1.
Yeah.
75 cents on the dollar.
Basically 75 cents on the
75 cents on the dollar.
All right. Now, now I need to explain this bet a little
He's
bit.
just not acknowledging it at all.
These inside jokes are so good. I need to explain this bet a little bit because you need to understand the way my genius works here. Okay, so the Steelers are minus 2.5.
How many points did they score last week?
18, no touchdowns. They're due for a tutty.
Is that what you think?
They're due, but I have faith in
I think you're going
Boswell.
to score 2 touchdowns.
Boswell can get me 21, and there's no reason he can't kick 7 field goals.
It's true.
But I'm quite confident. I tried to make a bet that I tried to parlay these two with Bo Nix throwing an interception, and there's too much correlation between that. They wouldn't let me have them. Yeah, but like defensive touchdown is basically a lock this week.
Much correlation.
For sure. It's basically a lock. There's for sure going to be a pick 6 or a strip fumble for a touchdown. So the Steelers are minus 2.5, and you had to lay, I think it was minus 106. I decided, fuck it. Fuck a hook.
You don't need that hook.
Fuck a hook. They're
a
going to win
hook.
by 4.
Yeah.
They're going to win by 4 or 5. So I'm going to buy a half point, the opposite, or I'm going to sell a half point the opposite way. I'm going to take them at minus 3 and get laid 111.
Wait a minute.
Okay? And then I'm going to tease that because I'm so confident in their ability to score.
Well, let me tell you, this isn't a teaser. This is a parlay.
Sorry, I'm going to parlay that.
Yeah.
My apologies. I'm
No problem.
betting
I'm
new.
here for you.
Yeah, you're the DJ. And you
I'm
know.
here for you.
I'm going to parlay that with them scoring over 19.5. Now, I couldn't take the over on
Higher.
39.5 higher on 39.5 for game because I think there's a solid chance they just shut the Broncos out.
Okay.
And they're not going to score 40 points. I'm very sure of that.
We all
Well,
are,
why
but-
didn't you just take lower on the total?
I think it wouldn't let me because of the correlation.
What do you mean? You wouldn't just take Steelers minus 3
No,
and
you
lower?
should have been able to.
I don't know. I didn't try.
Sometimes
To be
you know,
fair, I didn't
I like
try.
your bet, Burke. I think I put into the chat that I think the Steelers are. You're going to squeak it out because they're going to win 20-10.
Okay.
Sometimes
That's
you
my
know,
that's my
you do
prediction
that.
for the Steeler game.
Yeah.
And I was a little worried about. I'm like 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. I don't know, but I forgot a defensive touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Oh, yeah.
So we get 1 touchdown from the offense, 1 touchdown from defense. 2 field goals,
This
and
guy's
we
asking
keep
for a
them,
lot.
and we keep them to 10 points. I mean, it's you should put the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Wait a minute. The Steelers are away.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
like,
Denver.
But
Denver.
Not anywhere.
rumor
in
is,
Denver.
Denver's tough to
Oh,
play.
don't say in Denver like it's fucking Kansas City, okay?
What?
The air is thin up
Kansas-
there.
The
The
air-
rumor is there are a lot of Yinzers migrating their way out to
course they
Colorado
are. They
as we
always do.
speak. Potential silent count for young rookie Bo Nix with TJ Watt timing up the snap. breathing down his fucking neck.
You guys look like the Hells Angels just driving across America in your fucking
Right,
your
buddy.
road trip.
The Midwesterners.
Fucking
Franco's
Midwesterners.
army left on Wednesday. Franco's army left Wednesday. They hit the road. They've been driving for 3.5 days straight, no sleep, getting boozed up on Iron Cities. You know, don't worry about us. We're going to be there. There'll be some fights in the stands. Okay? There will be some fights in the stands. Go ahead, Conrad. What do we got next?
All right, well, moving on. We got the young Brit. He's taking Manchester City 200 to win $35.
Okay, he truly is on the I'm just trying not to lose.
You know the best part
Wagon.
about it?
We're talking about Matt Hunt, of course.
He's gonna win. The funny part, he's just gonna lose very slow. It looks like. I mean, he has
lose
a lock
fast.
this week. He has a lock this week. This week he has.
He
a
thought
lock.
he had a lock last week.
Nah, you don't bet against Holland. They're playing against.
He's gonna get 1/6 of his what he lost last week.
Right.
Back.
But you know,
we gotta get him on the Burnley train. I've been watching a lot of Pat McAfee with JJ Watt. He comes on every Wednesday, and he's a part owner of Burnley, I believe.
Yeah,
him and the YouTubers. What the fuck are their names?
Is this soccer or cricket?
It's soccer. Man.
Burnley's the team.
Yeah, they're real bad. They almost got relegated last year, but they're turning things around. Help me out with the YouTubers.
It's not the Sidemen.
No,
right?
it's the 5 guys that like play sports. Like their most popular video was they golfed with 5 different.
Perfect?
Dude Perfect. Thank you. They're all part owners of Burnley.
didn't they? I feel like they went up a league, and then last year,
Oh, then maybe they got relegated back.
or they
Last year they got
almost-
fucking mopped.
Yeah. But they had just went up a league. They
Okay.
They promoted and
I
then
feel
they
like they
got
had a feel-good story and then got whacked.
Okay, yeah, maybe they got
Feel good, feel
relegated.
bad.
I'm not sure, but he's high on them this year. He thinks they're going to win some games.
No, I mean, I bet you would when you fucking own the team.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
guys, I gotta tell you, this Oreo
Hitting a little different.
Yeah, it's starting to taste a little better. A little
growing
better.
on
It's like a nice fine wine. Just need to breathe a little bit. I
Right,
think.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
try a
that's-
little bit
I
more
can't
of it.
breathe.
Maybe let's get back in.
Absolutely disgusting.
All right, who do you and Guap got this week?
We know
Guapo went all
we know
in.
Guapo's got a little 200 ball on Shevchenko.
That's right.
Plus
Ag-
118.
Yep.
I went and looked yesterday, and the odds went more. They were plus 125
It got up
yesterday.
to 125. It dropped back down to plus 118
Yep.
today.
Would you get him on this bet here?
Minus
I actually put a little sweetener on this. I
1704.
took Canelo on there just to get a little extra juice.
He's that big of a favorite?
Yeah, but he could get
Holy
knocked out, I
fuck.
hear.
Kid's
I
a
hear-
banger, but yeah, I expect Canelo to not have any
The
problems.
other kid is undefeated, and he has a whole bunch of knockouts, so he has a chance.
Okay, so Guap's laying 200 to win 250-ish, give or take.
Yep.
All right, so he's getting a little bang for his buck here.
I got a bang for you, Buck.
All right.
We're all in, baby. I couldn't take it.
It's week 2,
I
guys.
got fucked
week
last
2.
week.
Right on brand.
We put it in. We're betting $780 on the Chargers to go into A&T Bank Stadium and absolutely fucking wash the Panthers.
AT&T Bank Stadium.
I think it's something like that.
I think it's not.
What is it?
I don't know, but I know
God
AT&T
damn
doesn't
it.
own any
It's
banks.
either a bank or it's AT&T. It's not both.
Carolina. Anyway, they're minus 6.5. It's not looking good for me because the line started at 4, then went to 6.5, and now it's back down to like 6. I want to say.
He goes, I have to get this bet. He put it in like Tuesday. He's like, I'm all in on the Chargers. I got to get this in because the line's going to move to minus 10.
I thought it
And
was.
it didn't.
It didn't.
And now here we are.
I mean, honestly, me and Hank said the same thing this week.
It's
We
a
got
Bank
fucked.
of America Stadium.
Thank you.
Bank of
there
America.
we go.
Oh, okay.
AT&T Bank.
This feels like the equivalent of like just buying high and selling.
Yeah,
Like it just has that feeling.
You know when you're like witnessing what you know is about to be a car crash? I feel like that's where we're at right
Yeah.
now. And it's going to be especially bad because we're going to have a fair amount of Chargers exposure in the Survivor as well. So we can't root for them to lose outright.
Right.
But like the 6 and a hook, I think that's going to kill them.
Yeah.
The
I
line,
think we're looking at like a 3-point game
it says
here.
Guys,
the
guys,
line
guys.
started at -3 and now it's -5.
Okay.
Yeah, went to 6.5.
It
and
depends
So
on
he
what
bought
books you
it.
have
He
it.
bought it peak.
He bought it
Yeah.
peak.
He bought it peak.
I told you.
Top
he's
signal Conrad.
I'm cool with that.
Top signal.
Top signal Conrad.
So
baby.
another inside joke that maybe hasn't made its way fully into the podcast.
Hold on, time out. This is the
TFC over
worst
there.
joke ever because I didn't lose any money in crypto. I lost $0 in NFTs.
brother. My brother in Christ. Do we need to talk about Metaverse Vista?
Visa
Overall,
Metaverse.
it doesn't matter. I lost 7,500 there, but overall,
You're not gonna be 100% on all your
overall,
trades.
I didn't lose money in crypto.
I believe him.
All right, yeah, maybe not. But what we do know
I
is
lost money on the Chargers -6.5.
what we do know is that when Conrad entered the group chat to tell us to go buy something, that was a top signal.
Yeah.
Every single time. It was like your mother talking about Bitcoin on
Time
her
out.
ride to the grocery
Guys,
store.
the only things that I bought in crypto were Oris, which Mama Joe taught me.
Yeah. You didn't invest in your own bad advice, but you came fucking promoting
You
it.
just gave it unsolicitedly.
No.
You came
You
to
guys are
solicit.
absolutely-
TSC. You're TSC.
You
It's
guys are
fine.
absolutely incorrect.
We got
You guys
TSB, we got TSC.
You guys are dumb and you're
Timestamp,
incorrect.
bro.
And
Top
once
signal,
the Chargers
Conrad.
win this week, I'm just gonna wipe the floor with you guys in this whole
Brother,
thing.
the Chargers are going to win. We
They
all
can
agree
win
with
by
you.
7.
Win
Just
by
not by
3.
7.
They're gonna win by
covering.
3, my boy.
They're
I hope they
covering.
win by 6.
I
Yeah.
hope they win by
Eating
6.
the dogs. They're eating
They're
the
eating the
cats.
cats.
Eat the Panthers. Eat the Panthers.
This is what we need.
Eating the cats.
We really need the Chargers to eat the cats.
They're eating the cats. They're
We
eating
need the Chargers
dogs.
to eat the cats by 3.
Eat the cat.
There's nothing better than
what
us
a
winning
banger.
and
Chargers are
Conrad
gonna eat the
losing.
cat.
That's absolute
Like,
fact,
you
You know
Landon.
what? Well, you know what the best is? Come in here on Thursday and you don't even have a pick anymore.
What do you mean?
You're out, buddy.
Why am I out?
But
You're
he-
out, buddy.
But he conservatively made a wager.
I made
you
a
know.
pick.
Yeah, but
Two units.
I made it to week 3. Okay.
You got
Someone
16
like-
units all in on the fucking Chargers.
What do you
on
mean?
the road.
I have 1 unit. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I have
Do we
1
need to
unit in here.
revisit Gambler's Ruin for the umpteenth fucking time?
I have 1 unit.
Is this?
in
Did you save any money back?
Nothing.
Or this is all?
No,
of
no,
it?
this is it. This is all.
You
of
didn't
it.
like save like 100 back just to try to run it up.
Even the screenshot that he
Why would
sent
you- why
is
would-
incorrect
It's
because he bet
incorrect.
$20 more last
Yeah,
week than you
it's
realized.
$780.
So he's negative. He's negative $20 on our fucking.
Shout out
That
to
should have to be real money that gets thrown.
You
in the
should
prize
have to
pool.
panhandle that $20 off of everybody else in the contest.
To me,
Who are you going to appeal to?
Grappa, let me get 20.
I got you, Poppy. No
You better
worries.
hit up Brent and Platt.
It's
They
funny
went
because
off.
like even if you do win, like next week you're just gonna put it all on something else, and eventually.
Conrad
I
tried
have
to talk
1
to
unit.
Matt and I about future bets.
Oh,
and how
yeah.
they're free rolls.
We don't have time to get into that one today.
It's
Can
a
you run-
fucking free roll. You guys are retarded.
Please stop. Please stop.
No, you guys are stupid.
Please stop. We can't. We don't
All right.
have enough
All right,
time. We
whatever.
got to get to the Venetian at some
Hurry
point.
up,
Can
hurry
you
up, go.
can you end this with
I'm done.
Platt and Brent's picks?
No, they told me yesterday.
Yeah, but reiterate them,
Pissed
please.
me off.
Hanksy's Bills look good.
I don't know who the hell they picked,
No,
actually.
Hanks went.
I know he didn't pick Bills, but
Hanks has the Ravens -9.5 playing against Oakland. I mean,
That's right.
Oakland.
He also
the Vegas
was,
Raiders.
He also was super sharp with closing line value. He said
Yeah.
that line was going to go to 12.
And it's
Hanks
at-
Perry.
And it's gone the other way.
It's at 8.5. I
Yeah,
believe.
it's gone to
Here's
8.5.
a quick recap of all the bankrolls, and then we'll have this updated next week as soon as all the wagers are in.
All
So
right.
it looks like
And
Hanks
Me and
Platt are
Torres
at the top.
pulling up third and fourth.
Let's go. Berkey and Tortoise.
There's all
I have
the losers.
$800 now. I have
The
$800.
losers. Oh wow, Guapo was so conservative week 1. No surprise there.
Yeah.
Guapo was going to win with bankroll management. And who did Platt go in?
He go
on?
with the Bengals. I
He went the
believe.
Bengals
+6
plus
against
6.
KC.
Yep.
betting against Mahomes
God.
on the road, right?
I just
Bengals-
listen. If that covers, it's confirmed he's sharp.
Yes.
If that covers, then we know. Okay, Platt's doing something.
Look, to be
right.
fair, Burrow is 5-1 against, or what is it? Burrow
Yeah,
won?
when they were good.
When were they ever good?
The Bengals?
When they went to the
How about
Super
when you
Bowl?
bet the fucking 10-year future
I mean,
against
they have
me?
the same exact fucking team.
It's
No,
unbelievable.
they don't.
They do.
They lost Mixon. They've lost one.
Again, he
bet the top.
And I brought the top on that one. I brought the top on that one.
are the best thing ever
It was his first fucking year. That was literally his first year. How did
They'll
they
never
never
be as good as they were that year.
Once again, they ate the cats. They ate the cats.
Absolutely cooked like
Their
this.
defense is worse. They lost Mixon. One of their wideouts is not healthy right
How
now.
is their defense worse?
I don't
It just
follow
is.
the Bengals that closely, but it's been 5 years.
because you said so.
again.
I assure you, their
Just
defense
because
is
you
worse.
said so, defense
No,
is
I
worse.
just know they're not a good defensive team.
They lost.
They weren't
perfect.
that.
They lost.
All right.
They're
Well,
not
just
even
were
they
good
might not even make
offense.
the playoffs this year.
I wish I would. You know what? We should book some of these bets. Like I would book Platt here. He's not sharp, by the way. He bets me every fucking year on these Steeler Pirates bets, and I'm about to go 3-0. If the Pirates fucking pull this out for me.
No, the thing is that like the.
By the way, I can find no record of this Pirate bet with him because I was looking back through the chat and we were talking about it being 69.
Yeah,
Nice.
As the over under. Nice. What did he say I bet it at? 72?
I think it was 86.
76, right?
76. I have no clue.
Yeah, I think he said it was 76.
Honestly, at this point, he could just tell me whatever he wants the bet to be, and I would just have to accept because I have no record of it.
He said 76, which means
76 seems insane.
I mean, I don't think they won 76 games last year. Which I got them at 72 and a half.
To be fair,
like
you do
I don't understand what like it's like the Pirates are just. Everyone just knows they're just down bad every year, but like they were going to improve probably this year, or like at least be the same as they were last year. So the fact that I was able to get them at 72 and a half seemed like a steal.
Wow, you're sharp as fuck. You probably got them at 75 cents on the dollar. All right, let's transition out of this and get to the title story here. Dedicate a little bit of time to it before we get out of here. So recently we spoke about the content creators coming out saying that they had never been paid with the gig or for the gig that they had done with ACR. ACR publicly then kind of walked it back a little bit, said that they had a deal in place with Endgame Talent. Andrea Botez kind of came out. Alex Botez. I always get that fucked up. Alex Botez came out and confirmed that Endgame Talent had an outstanding debt with her. From there, we were able to dig a little bit deeper. We saw that there was a default judgment against Scott Ball's company, Endgame Talent, for $750,000-ish, which we believe was initiated by Alex's representation, which was, I can't recall the company. Do you remember off the top of your head? Loaded, thank you. So they had achieved the settlement. From there, the story went on. I divulged some details that I had witnessed and known, which were, Scott colluding in an app game and, basically spoke a little bit to his character. Nagy then came on and gave his side, which you can make of it what you will. Go back and watch the episode if you like. He was kind of literally all over the place as he paced around, and we saw the fucking.
I'm still dizzy.
His steps, yeah.
Yeah, he got his steps in for sure. So there wasn't really much of a response. Scott just kind of tweeted that he wanted fair arbitration because he didn't think he could get a settlement in Costa Rica, which is probably pretty fair. And perhaps Nagy's leveraging that fact by being able to tell a one-sided story and saying, like, I'm protected by the fact that he'll never get a ruling here, so I get to say whatever I want to say. I don't know that to be true. Obviously, we're speculating. Of course, nothing we say here is necessarily going to be fact outside of like what I've witnessed, right? So it's like, what is fact is I know that he was colluding and card sharing in an app game. What is speculation is the deal that was in place between him and ACR. All we know is that there was one. It seems like all sides corroborate that story. So Scott came out and did a bit of a tell-all with Chad Holloway. There was a recent PokerNews article. And I think this is worth bringing up for two reasons. One, it allows us to both sides the story, which is always nice for the viewers to kind of understand the way both ways are going. And two, we were mentioned a lot. So there are definitely some things that I would like to respond to in some sort of capacity. Now, the general gist of this story was mainly getting details out from the Endgame Talent side. Everybody seems to agree, including Nagy, that there was a deal in place between ACR and Endgame, and that deal was breached in some sort of capacity, including ACR not paying the full amount. Nagy said that on air. He definitely said on air that he didn't engage in the full amount, whatever that amount was. Now, what Ball is further disputing was what that number is, which was alleged to be an 8-figure contract, rumored to be around $30 million. What was that?
The cats
outside.
Oh, okay. So
it's garbage day.
Garbage day. Okay, sorry. Had me flustered. I thought fucking Poker Karen was back. Lock the cats up.
They're eating the dog.
Okay, so basically Scott's statement was the fact that this $30 million was never paid led to some influencers not getting paid. I sent you a couple quotes, Guap. But he said that we worked for ACR for over 7 years, and I can tell you their statement is blatantly not true. As I've shown today, there are many receipts showing that we have paid lots of people and many receipts showing that ACR owes us money. The reason I asked for arbitration amongst neutral people is because there's no gray area here. Nagy's saying there's no gray area either, but then I can offer him a free roll in order to show these receipts, yada, yada, yada. Chad corroborated this. He said, indeed, Ball shared various documents, spreadsheets, and messages with me to validate certain claims. However, it was done on the basis that the copies could not be shared publicly due to various NDAs and ongoing legal proceedings. Now, the quote that was taken out in the article here, put in bold, is, I had a contract for tens of millions of dollars that was honored to a total of 0. So we're talking multiple millions of dollars. And this is where I get a bit confused. And maybe there's an easy explanation here that you guys can point out that I'm missing. But if the contract was upwards of 30 million and they received $0 of it, and this was over the course of 7 years, one, how did Scott continue to hire talent based off of a contract that clearly wasn't being honored over a long duration of time? Two, how were the content creators that did get paid at all if Endgame Talent is effectively 30 million in debt or indebted to ACR? And then finally, and this is the part that I'm most confused about, if you can bring that quote up again that starts with among the documents. It says, among the documents shared were year-long...
Sorry, is it this one, Matt? Or the previous?
No, that one. Yes, okay. That one. Wait, is it that one? No. The previous one.
Okay.
So it says, among the documents shared were a year-long insertion order and spreadsheet highlighting payments to hundreds of content creators, with approximately 50 being unpaid and most being due either 4 or 5 figures. Okay, so let's hang on that for a second. 50 content creators being paid being owed at least or at most 4 or 5 figures. Let's assume the high side. Let's assume 5 figures, and let's assume mid 5 figures. So call it 50K each. That's 50 times 50. We're looking at
2.5 million.
Yeah, it's 2.5 million, right? So 2.5 million in debt. On the very, very high side, right? Mm-hmm. Some of those 50 are owed 4 figures, which is like $1,000 max, right?
Well, 909, almost 10,000 max.
Oh, right. Sorry. Just shy of 10,000.
999.
Thank you, Lamina.
I'm good with numbers, you assholes.
Right.
Some of them got 75 cents on the dollar, man.
Right. So like, there's going to be a range here. It's going to be somewhere between less than $1 million owed to these 50 creators and at most like 5 million owed to these creators, right?
I get the point that you're getting at. What about the content creators that we do know that were owed 6 figures plus?
We don't know any of those. Nobody went public saying that amount.
No,
but
okay.
But let me finish my point, and then I'm going to double back on that. So at most, these content creators are owed 5 million, right? Where'd the other 25 million distribute to? Number one. Number two, why did he say, I don't have $10 million to pay these people off? Why is it suddenly doubled?
Okay, so this is the question that I have. I've seen this $30 million thing it's been talked about a lot.
Yeah.
It was my understanding when we had Nagy on that he was talking about his budget as a whole being $30 million for content creators for...
Let's not conflate the two. It could be coincidental that they're both talking 30 million. Yeah. Or the 30 million alleged could be coming from that Nagy quote, which you're correct. He was saying his budget for
so I think it
marketing.
may be unfair to just assume that Endgame got all of that money, right?
I mean, to be fair,
because if your whole budget
I'm just going by what the article said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the article said it was rumored to be upwards of 30 million. And Scott is quoted as saying multiple times here, tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So somewhere between 10 and
30.
more than, 10 and 30, 10 and 100, who knows? He was owed, and he got exactly zero. He said, I had a contract for tens of millions of dollars that was honored to a total of $0. So this is where, for me,
It's honored to $0.
There's a couple questions I have quickly that would be like, when did this start? When was the
he said
inception?
he said it's been 7 years that they were working together.
7 years, so before COVID, basically. He's saying the inception of this is, and these
2017.
and the people that are coming out saying they didn't get paid was from like 3 or 4 years ago.
A couple of years ago, post COVID.
I think something that's abundantly clear is that we're not even talking about I got X amount of money versus how. We're just saying that Scott's just saying he got absolutely nothing.
Correct.
So then one person's absolutely lying then, right?
Has to be. Has to be.
Because there's no disparity in money. It's just I paid this guy millions of dollars, and the other was just saying I got absolutely nothing.
So the problem
someone's
is
lying.
there's like 3 or 4 years unaccounted, basically, that's saying that Scott was paying out of his pocket. That's what basically is coming out.
Right, but like we're talking about way more than this company was worth, right? Like when they were fundraising, going back to that conversation of Helmuth's involvement, Alex Ding, which we spoke about at length in the numbers that were getting thrown around were like hundreds of thousands. Like I believe Phil was found to be invested like $225K, something to that effect. Alex Ding claimed he invested like $600,000.
Phil's game.
What about it? The app game?
Yeah, that whole group I feel like invested.
Probably, but
Madison said something along those lines.
Yeah. But I don't think Phil's investment was for 1%, which would make the company worth $20 million. Right? I don't think his investment was for 0.5%, which would make the company worth $40 million.
I see what you're saying.
So where is all of this money coming from, and how on earth was it distributed to? He claims a bunch of content creators were paid along the way, and Ludwig said he was paid, right? Yeah. From who? Right? So it's like I'm only pointing this out because this article is obviously very one-sided, and this is no slight against PokerNews. It was an expose from Scott Ball's point of view, right? But, this article also frames things as like Scott popping off saying we have no journalistic integrity. It's like, well, we're not journalists, buddy. We're not a fucking news outlet.
We're only friends.
Yeah, we're literally just shooting the shit water cooler style. And there are things that I absolutely know because I saw,
bro.
Well, there are like things I know because I saw them firsthand. There are other things that I have a high degree of confidence in because the sources are reputable. And you can claim all these.
This graphic, Matt.
Right, and we did say allegedly, and it's like you can claim a lot of this stuff to be false, right? Like he basically, this is very bothersome to me that this didn't get pushed back on. Like the problem to me is that none of this stuff got pushed back on. I felt like I did a good job of pushing back on Nagy, and Scott's welcome to call in anytime that he wants so that I can give him the same treatment. But like he basically was asked about his tarnished reputation, and he came out and said these things were debunked forever ago. I was asked about if I'd stolen money from Phil Hellmuth, and Phil came out publicly and said, I never stole from him. It's like, yeah, well, that's not what you're being accused of at all.
Right.
Nobody ever said you stole money from Hellmuth. Mikey, the mouth, maybe misspoke in the way that he called you a scammer and said that you stole Phil's investment. But what he was implying was that your company was a sham and that it wasn't on the up and up and wasn't going to be able to meet payment and it was going to fail, yada, yada, yada. The more important thing, though, that we put an emphasis on, which is not incorrect, and I don't see him saying that anywhere that it was incorrect, is that you were cheating the app game. Those are the allegations being levied against you.
Yeah.
And I witnessed it happen firsthand. I watched you cheat the app game. So it's like you can't attack my character and say that I don't have any journalistic integrity and that I'm just, throwing you under the bus to be lambasted by the community. It's like, well, yeah, I'm doing that based off of things that I know to be fact. And then I'm speaking to the alleged allegations being levied against you elsewhere, which are your company failing to make payment for what seems to be millions of dollars. This alleged spending that had been taking place. So where I will walk something back and apologize if I was incorrect is I alluded to the fact that I thought his exotic cars were repoed. That was obviously me speculating. He said that he sold them when his lifestyle changed, i.e., the money started to run dry. But where did they come from to begin with? Where is all this fucking money coming from if this contract was never honored?
Right.
How successful was Endgame Talent at one point in time that the owner was able to live such a lavish life and do all of these wonderful things with all of this money, but not make the content creators whole on the back end for what appears to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million to $2.5 million, a very small fraction of the contract that he's claiming was honored for exactly $0. And additionally, how do you sign a $30 million contract with a company that you don't think you can take legal action against if they fail to pay, and then in turn turn around and sign a bunch of fucking talent without having any front money? None of this adds up to me.
Right.
And of course I'm speculating. I don't pretend to be an investigative journalist, right? I'm just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together here on air while reading through an article that smells like fucking bullshit to me. I could be dead wrong. Maybe his receipts track. And if so, I hope they come public. And if so, I hope that, it gets him paid in the long run. By no stretch of the imagination do I think that he's lying about there being a discrepancy between the money of ACR and Endgame. I'm confident that he's probably telling some version of the truth where whatever contract they had in place wasn't fully honored. But I don't know why. I don't necessarily know that it was ACR at fault here. I don't necessarily know that it was Endgame Talent at fault here. What I do know is that somebody was at fault, and he has a default settlement levied against him that he's claiming was a byproduct of his legal team dropping the ball. They're trying to get this default settlement reversed because apparently they just never made it to court, whatever. But again, I would think if he has all these receipts, he would want to fight that case against Loaded because they'll all come out, right?
There should be a paper trail, right? Shouldn't there be a paper trail to see where
you don't make a $30 million handshake deal?
Exactly. It's not like ACR handed him a briefcase with $30 million.
What if it was a promissory note?
It's fair.
Those are IOUs, sir. Those are as good as money.
I promised to give you $30 million.
But you would think that this money should be able to be tracked. Did he receive the money? How much did he receive? Where did that money then go after he received it? Did it go to the influencer? Did it not? All this should be able to be proven through receipts. So.
That's my biggest issue with this article as a whole is nothing we spoke about at its core was really challenged. He never challenged the fact that he owes these content creators, which we shined a light on. He never challenged the fact that he had the settlement against him, which we shined a light on. He never challenged the fact that he cheated these app games, which I witnessed first fucking hand, which we shined a light on. He never challenged his relationship with Chris Fitz, which we know to be one of the biggest cohorts in the Ali stable and a bunch of other cheating scenarios, which we shined a light on. He never challenged really much of anything that Nagy said on air either about their relationship, about his relationship with Chris Fitz, and all these others where it seems like a lot of underhanded things may have been taking place. The only thing he challenged was the fact that we called his character into question, which I think is very reasonable. He challenged the fact that his cars were repoed when he said he sold them off. Okay, sure. Maybe I speculated incorrectly there, and I apologize if so. But at the end of the day, everything being levied out here seems to have a lot of merit. And a lot of the response here in this article is dancing around the actual question, right? It's okay, so receipts were presented to the reporter that demonstrates there's a discrepancy between the content creators and Endgame Talent. We all pointed that out, right? Mm-hmm. The receipts shown to the reporter may or may not have shown a discrepancy between ACR and Endgame Talent. I didn't really pull that away from this article. It didn't seem very clear. It didn't just come right out and say, Scott showed me receipts that ACR owes X amount of dollars, right?
Right.
Why wouldn't it just say that?
Yeah.
Like, why not just state that as actual fact if that in fact is true and that's what the receipts demonstrate? I don't get it. Like, what did Chad see in the receipts that corroborates Scott's side to the point where you have a high degree of confidence to write this article? Because whether it's fair or not, I don't think we have a responsibility to be journalists, right? We're a podcast. We talk about the happenings within the community, and oftentimes that comes with us spreading information amongst one another that's very important to get out there when we have a high degree of confidence that it's true. But Poker News is an outlet. They are going to have to be held to a journalistic integrity. So, you know, if you're going to platform someone like this, and I for what it's worth, I think that they would both sides of this thing. I think they would very happily interview Nagy just the same. I believe even in the article, they said they reached out to Nagy and he declined, no comment. Just like Scott declined, no comment to Poker.org initially. Now he's stating there was a conflict of interest. But when we were writing, or when we were doing our show, we were going off the fact that he didn't even want to defend himself publicly at that point, right? So at the end of the day, when you do have enough confidence to put Scott's side out there, and, you know, we get accused of this all the time, and I want to be clear that that's not what's happening here. We get accused of stating things as absolutes and as facts just because we say them on air.
We or you?
Well, you guys are, whether you like it or not, you're attached to me, buddy. But
Can't get out of it.
I detach.
But it's true. Like, I could say allegedly in between every word that I say in a sentence, and then somebody will still say, Berkey said that I'm this, and he said it, like, he said his opinion is fact. It's I don't understand how you can hold an opinion and state it as fact at the same time. Like, an opinion in and of itself is clearly just one person's take. At no point in time, like, does that imply factually accurate or not, for what it's worth. So what I'm going with this is we often get accused of stating things as absolutes. And I think a lot of people will read this article would believe that Poker News is now kind of putting it out there that Scott's word is absolute. And I don't want people to make that mistake. That's not what's happening here. Chad just simply asked questions and wrote the answers. And I think that's good. I think that's good, right? Like, that's a necessary thing to do. And like I said, I think he would have both sides this if Nagy were willing to talk. But the point is, when this stuff plays out publicly like this, of course it's going to be a lot of he said, she said, right? Until somebody comes with receipts. And both of these companies very well should be holding on to receipts.
Right.
Right? Until that stuff goes public, yes, we're just going to get to speculate. But at the end of the day, Scott absolutely has debts to content creators. So nothing we're saying here is inaccurate, right? The details and the nuances that may be my opinion, he might not agree with, but who gives a shit? You know, like, I don't care if people disagree with my opinion. If I cared, I wouldn't fucking be on the mic. You know, I'm not gonna please everyone. I know that getting in here.
You don't please anyone.
I hope to get, you know, a few things,
a couple chuckles.
Yeah, a couple laughs along the way. You know,
It's about the friends you make along the way.
That's right.
Let's go make some friends.
It's all about the only friends, you know. So yeah, I mean, I guess, like, a lot of people sent me this article of like, oh, you have to respond. It's like, okay. I mean, you're right that we have to cover it because I think it's important to tell Scott's side of the story. And this is the first public arena that he chose to state it. But that doesn't mean I can't challenge some of the details.
Of course not.
You know? And it doesn't mean I can't challenge some of Nagy's details. Like, we pushed back on a lot of the stuff he said. I'm not confident anything coming out of either of their mouths is fully true.
You like playing poker, don't you?
That was an honest moment.
You like playing poker?
I can assure you that was an honest moment if we've ever seen one.
That was some real shit.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see how this all plays out. I'm rooting for the content creators. You know, like, I don't know how many of them are with Loaded, but if it's a lot of them, of the 50 that are owed, if it's a big chunk of them, and they were only able to get a $750,000 ruling, then that number that's owed collectively probably isn't that high. It probably is in the 2 million range. But he's saying he owes 10 million. Well, if he owes 10 million, I think more people would have spoke, no? Like, I don't get it. And how is it only 10? I thought we were talking
wasn't the whole idea,
tens of millions.
Wasn't the whole idea to a degree is like if someone came out and said something about it, they would like declare bankruptcy and then no one gets paid?
That was just something Alex kind of said, that she reached out to Scott and he said, if you go public, I'll go bankrupt, as like a threat. But like,
Wouldn't
there
that
can't
stop
be,
people from trying to say stuff?
I don't think so, because her talent agency then went on to sue him, right? So it's like,
Are we paraphrasing, or did Botez actually like tweet this out?
He tweeted something.
It
along
was some
these
sort of
lines.
response. I'm paraphrasing what she said, but
There was a tweet along the lines of if someone said that they would threaten legal action, they would go bankrupt.
Right.
This
right.
was
But
the
then they took legal action anyway,
Yeah.
and Endgame isn't bankrupt.
They're
as far as
calling
I
the
know.
bluff. They're
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean, I'm a bit confused by it all. Not that he's upset. That part makes perfect sense to me. He has no reason to be happy with me.
No.
Which is fine. I don't care. Right. But you know, I think it's a weird thing when you know, basically saying like you take issue with the media coverage of the way that this story was told. And he went on to say that like Berkey has his narrative and it's not going to do anything. He's not going to do anything that doesn't support his narrative. Who stated he was never contacted to give his side of the story. That is fair. I didn't contact him, but I didn't contact Nagy either.
He contacted us.
He contacted us, right? So it's like we didn't try to one side this thing. I wanted to be as objective as possible, and I wanted to lead with everything that was immediately public. The tweets from the content creators were public. The settlement was public. The app game stuff was public via Mikey in 2021, as well as my own personal exposure and experience with Scott. All of this stuff was public. I didn't comment on anything that was private except the cars, which you're right. I speculated there. I apologize.
They repoed
Right?
the cars.
I apologize for that.
They repoed the cars.
I didn't know. But I wasn't formulating a narrative that wasn't already in existence, right? We were just leaning on what was already public rhetoric that had seemingly no pushback. And yes, you're right. Nagy got his 15 minutes in the sun to be able to tell his side of the story.
He can come back if he wants.
Yeah. And so can Scott. Like I said, if he wants to, I have plenty of hard questions to ask, right? And you don't have to answer. You don't have to do this, right? It's like, whatever. Let me just, who cares?
Let me cook.
Just like, who cares? People talk shit all the time, but I'm not even, the reason he cares is because I'm not talking shit, right? I'm repeating things
Allegedly.
and amplifying things that are in the public space.
Mm-hmm.
That tweet could have just disappeared. People would have forgot about it. But now a media podcast exists, and then clips exist. And now all of a sudden he's saying that people are sending him death threats via, I don't know what that's all about, and I don't know how we got lumped into that somehow. Like, because we did our show, he's getting death threats? Like, what? Well, no, because you stiff content creators, you're getting death threats. Right. Like, stop playing the victim here. That's the biggest problem I have with this entire article. Is like somehow Scott Ball became the victim in all of this. How the fuck do you run a business into the ground, stiff people out of hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, and become the victim in all of this? How did you have all the nice cars? I don't care that you sold them. And where did the money go when you sold them? Maybe you got a bad deal and you were in debt. I don't fucking know or care. I'm asking questions.
Modern day Barbara Walters.
No,
Yeah.
You're
we're
ready.
not. We're not. We're, it's funny because I never really got it when, like McAfee's under a lot of heat right now from ESPN because he licensed his podcast and he goes, I'm not changing a fucking thing. And a lot of the old school journalists, and we even had some feedback like this from Norman Chad, who is a traditional journalist. He went to school for it and everything else.
Thing.
And a lot of the old school journalists they hate it. They're like, you have no journalistic integrity. He repeats it like every show. Like, it's a running gag. Like, wow, in this next bit, we're gonna have journalistic integrity kind of thing. It's like whoever claimed that we were journalists.
There was journalism or integrity.
He starts his show with it's a comedic, performative sports show.
The whole show's a bit.
Just talking shop. Well, no, it's just dudes talking on air.
Dudes.
I think people just have they think that if you have an audience of any sort, and you're speaking to the masses, then you need to do due diligence on anything you say, which is kind of ridiculous because we are just talking.
Yes, and it also implies that we didn't do any due diligence.
Right.
That we like fabricated a bunch of stuff.
Right,
And
of course.
same thing with McAfee. It's like the implication is that he's just pulling things out of thin air. Well, that's not the case. Oftentimes, for him, for us, whatever, we're reading stories that are actually being, refined by people who do the legwork. We're pulling it from other media sources.
Right.
For the most part. And then we're adding our little spin when we get to be insiders.
Mm-hmm.
When it's an inside the locker room situation that he can speak to, he becomes an insider.
Yeah.
When I walked into Scott Ball's suite at Vidara and watched him collude with two people he was backing in a game, I become an insider.
Right.
You were inside.
Right? Like
You were literally inside the room.
Right. It's just like you can't push back against this and then call it a narrative. It's like that just happened, bro.
Right.
Right? It's just like what are we doing?
If you saw somebody eating a dog or a cat, you would have to speak out.
I would have to speak out on it. And
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
all right.
I like how they switch it up. Start with the cats and the dogs.
Yeah.
I
Got a
will
variety in your diet.
We're outroing on this.
We are going to outro on this. by the way.
I will put an end on this, or put a button on this. Scott, you're welcome to come on anytime you like. Happy to have you call in or sit down in studio. I don't give a shit. We can talk it out if you like. We're headed down to the Venetian. We're going to go eat. We got a meal on the fucking table. Only Friends meetup game. Jeremy Osmus, Fair Gelfond, Jamie Kerstetter, One Guapo, Nikki Limo, and the rest of the Only Friends crew will all be there. 1 p.m., $3 an hour comps. We're going to be playing all the stakes, giving away Canyon Ranch Spa. Just show up. We'll see you guys all there.
Come get Berkey's free money.
I'm out of here on Sunday. We're going to switch to 3 days a week starting next week. So
Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
I think it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Wow, that was like my gym schedule in high school.
So stay tuned for that. We'll be back Monday noonish, I believe, is going to be our time slot for the next 3 weeks. So we'll see you guys all then.
Go Steelers.
Peace.
They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating